And I can tell you that in today's video, you will learn how to get 2.5 days of battery life on this watch without sacrificing any functions, without having to use the power saving mode, which is terrible. Well, here it is. This is the Apple Watch Series 10. Here is its box. I'm not doing an unboxing because it's very simple. It just comes with the charging cable and the watch, which I pair with the Milanese loop strap, a strap that is not from Apple. It's cheaper. I'll also leave it in the description box in case anyone is interested, but it gives a look that works for all kinds of tasks, both formal and for any type of exercise, because it's a very comfortable strap. In fact, the new Apple Watch Ultra has a next-generation Milanese loop strap with a clasp. I recommend this one 100% because, as you can see, it looks great for the comparison of where it came from. I bring you my previous watches, which were the Apple Watch Series 2. Yes, you heard that right. The Series 2, a device that, although it couldn't be updated to the new versions of watchOS, worked the same. It does the same thing. In fact, if you look here, we have the same watch face. And I can guarantee that buying an Apple Watch is a great purchase because this one has lasted me since its launch. And we're talking about 7 years ago. This is a Series 2, and the watch works. The only thing is that it has battery degradation and can no longer be updated to the new operating system, and therefore, from this moment on, I dismiss it, and it becomes a thing of the past. Now I will explain my experience with the new one, but here you can see a bit of the screen difference between the two. And as I said, anyone who buys a Series 5, 6, 7, or later that can be updated to the new operating system, well, it's a very good purchase because it will last you many years. And here is the proof. This is 7 years of a watch that I have replaced with this new version because it no longer receives updates and the battery is degraded. By the way, I will explain how you can make it through the whole day without any problem with a degraded battery. And with a new battery, you can last more than 2 days. Stay tuned, because in today's video I'm going to explain it for all of you who are unsure about buying an Apple Watch Ultra, the Series 2 or Series 1 versus a Series 10, because many people buy it for the battery issue. And I can tell you that in today's video you will learn how to get 2.5 days of battery life on this watch without sacrificing any functions, without having to use the power saving mode, which is terrible. Therefore, anyone who has an iPhone should buy an Apple Watch without any doubt. And I say this from personal experience, especially regarding the compatibility of everything, as Apple is very particular when it comes to linking permissions between the phone and the watch. Why is the Apple Watch a good purchase? Well, if you're coming from older models, I would say yes. If you're coming from more recent models, I would say you wouldn't necessarily have to. But my experience with the watch is that a larger screen helps you see more information, okay? I have a bunch of notifications here, and I can read these notifications with larger text. In fact, you will see it in the functionalities of the watch. One of the functionalities we can see is the text size, and the text size makes a big difference. Why? Because if I set a larger text size, it will be easier to read. I see fewer lines, and if I use a smaller text size, I can read more lines. Since my vision is good, I can obviously use very small text, and with a larger screen, I can see more content. And this serves two purposes. First, to see more content, and second, to save more battery, as I will explain now. Because more information on the screen means less movement of the crown to scroll, to navigate, for screen refresh, to show more information, and in the end, that is a little bit of battery drain. Little by little, you make the battery wear down, and this is for a watch where the battery is just enough, because this watch here has a battery that lasts, in this case, 18 hours according to Apple. How do I use the watch? To make the battery last 2.5 days. As you can see in the images, my watch lasts 2.5 days, because I do everything I'm going to show you now. First, you need to lower the brightness to the minimum so that the watch, when it wakes up, it shouldn't have a high energy consumption because the screen uses a lot of power in terms of brightness. Secondly, regarding the text size, as I mentioned, set it to the minimum possible because this way you have to scroll less. And by scrolling less, the processor is less involved. Every time you scroll, the processor goes through an energy-consuming process to display more information. Then the screen refreshes to display the new information because it performs a screen refresh. And if you have the haptic crown activated, you feel the haptic vibration when you turn it, which consumes energy. So, you should lower the brightness to the minimum and set the text size to the maximum. Additionally, you need to go to the screen activation function and turn it off. Do not wake the screen when you move your wrist. So during the day, there are many moments when the screen unintentionally activates because you make gestures with your hand. So you turn off the wake up feature with wrist movement. And above all, what you need to do is turn off the always on display because having screens always on consumes power. With these steps, you only have one more step to take, which is the most important of all, to have 2.5 days of battery life. What you need to do is go to this feature, which I have placed here next to the Wi-Fi, which is the theater mode, with the 2 masks. If you enable theater mode, what the watch does is that if you don't touch the screen or directly press the crown, the watch doesn't wake up. As you can see here, the watch doesn't wake up, but I still receive notifications. When I receive a notification, I feel the vibration, and I don't turn off the vibration, so I can know when the notification arrives. When the notification comes in, I either wake it up by using the crown or by tapping the screen, and then I check the notification. Once I see the notification, I turn off the screen with the palm of my hand, or I set the screen to turn off in less than 15 seconds, which is another option, but I don't even use the full 15 seconds. I receive the notification, I feel the vibration, I activate the screen with a tap, I see the notification, I don't scroll at all, and I dismiss it. And what do you achieve with this? Well, you get battery life. That lasts longer, because you are not using the processor, you are not using the haptic feedback, you are not using the screen brightness, and the only thing you are using is the vibration because you needed to alert you that you have a notification on your watch. What the watch allows you in cinema mode is that even with the screen turned off, you can still access all the functionalities of all the available apps. I can have a stopwatch and activate a timer, which remains active at all times even when I turn off the screen, and it is available for me to see when I make a tap. So I am not giving up any functionality of the watch. What happens is that it is doing so with the screen off, with all processes minimized in the sense that it is simply focusing on that, which consumes energy, but much less than having the screen on all the time when the app is open or having the cinema mode off, which obviously activates the screen when you move your wrist. As you can see here, it doesn't activate anything until I say, well, how's the stopwatch? I click here and see it. So here I am. As I can show you in today's video, I have used the watch for everything. When the screen is off, I use it to pay with Apple Pay by double-clicking, and the cards come up. I can pay with Apple Pay, and when I finish paying, I turn it off, and that's it. I have all the functionalities. The only thing is that I don't have them visible. I only notice them because the watch vibrates. And that is the only thing you should not deactivate in order to use the watch normally, while still having 2 days of battery life. And this is my experience with the Apple Watch, an experience that I find interesting to share in a video from a user's perspective. I believe that between this option I just showed you and the one to turn on, low power mode, I can tell you that this one is the worst option. Therefore, I recommend that you use the method I explained and let me know in the comments if it has worked for you like it did for me to get 2.5 days of battery.